The Redmi 5 Plus should clearly have been the Note 5, a successor of the Redmi Note 4, but Xiaomi wanted a fresh start. The 5th generation is trying to shake things up and the new look obviously called for a new name. So, Xiaomi retired the Note brand, promoting the Plus from a mere qualifier to a proper name. The phablet lives on regardless, and goes all in with a wide 6-inch screen. 'Tis the season of tall screens and Xiaomi is the next maker to go 18:9 in the mid-range as well. Both the Redmi 5 and Redmi 5 Plus have wide screens and both build on the predecessor's 5.5 inches diagonal with 5.7 inches and 5.99 inches respectively. The Redmi 5 Plus may have received a pretty obvious upgrade, but that's nearly all that's new. The 5 Plus keeps the Snapdragon 625 chip and 4,000 mAh battery of the Redmi Note 4. The old 5MP selfie camera stays too, while the rear cam now has bigger pixels but smaller aperture. The Redmi 5 Plus comes wrapped in an ALRED cardboard box. Just as nearly every single Redmi before it, the 5 Plus is bundled with a 10-watt charger, 5V/2A, and a microSD cable. Xiaomi also provides a transparent rubber case, but we almost missed it as it was packed with the quick start guides, which no one cares about, right? It seems Xiaomi didn't make itself quite a favor last year with the Helio-powered Redmi Note 4. An all-metal unibody and diamond-cut antenna ducts looked cool. Maybe even too cool for the global Snapdragon-powered version, which felt almost like a downgrade when it was released. Both of them pretty much reused the Redmi Note 3 design, and that wasn't such a bad thing back then. However, recycling it yet again for the Redmi 5 Plus is too much perhaps. Flip the Redmi 5 Plus and you'll find a virtually identical back with the Redmi Note 4. The top and bottom antenna inlays are made of plastic, while the centerpiece is all metal as is the camera rim. If it weren't for the difference in size, the Note 4 and 5 Plus would have been impossible to tell apart. The good news is it's really hard to tell the plastic bits of the Redmi 5 Plus, but Xiaomi could have done a better job at matching the paint with the rest of the body. There are no surprises on the Redmi 5 Plus, new screen or not. The hybrid card slot lets you choose between a second SIM or a microSD, while the top of the 5 Plus has the good old audio jack and the fan-favorite IR blaster. The Xiaomi Redmi 5 Plus 4,000 mAh battery is pretty much identical with the Redmi Note 4's. It has the same energy-efficient Snapdragon 625 under the hood but more screen real estate to light up. The Redmi 5 Plus supports regular 5V/2A charging, which restores about 29% of the battery in 30 minutes of charging. The Redmi 5 Plus runs on Xiaomi's own MIUI 9. A neat launcher based on the latest Android Nougat version, 7.1.2. While MIUI is one of the most popular launchers with great support, it's been somewhat behind the competition when it comes to the latest Android adoption. MIUI has been known for its clean interface, but looks are deceiving as it also offers a ton of customization options and advanced system tools at your disposal if you dig in. MIUI 9 builds on V8 with multi-window support, quick replies for notifications, smart app launcher, smart assistants, and smart image search. Yes, there is a lot of smart with MIUI 9 and it's possible thanks to the new machine learning process. There are tons of improvements under the hood, too, such as better RAM management, faster performance, lighter on resources, and improved doze mode. The novelties aside, it's MIUI however you look at it. Every shortcut, plus widgets of your choosing, are dropped on the home screen. You get a docked menu for the most commonly used apps, of course. The notification drawer comes from the top and has the quick toggles, as usual. There is a quick card pane, the leftmost one. It's quite similar to today's page in iOS. It contains different cards with relevant information, recent apps, step counter, notes, calendar events, the weather, and favorites, among others. You can configure what shows up here, or you can disable this altogether. Xiaomi Redmi 5 Plus is powered by the Snapdragon 625 SoC, the same in charge of the Redmi Note 4. Other companies have already switched to the Snapdragon 630 with newer and more powerful GPU, but Xiaomi is sticking to the previous generation for some reason. The Xiaomi Redmi 5 Plus rear camera has a 12MP sensor with 26mm f/2.2 lens and 1.25 micrometers big pixels. Phase detection autofocus, and a dual-toned flash complete the camera specs. The camera interface features toggles for HDR and flash on the left. There are 17 filters available with live previews. The camera also offers quite a few different shooting modes: panorama, timer, audio, straighten, manual, beautify, group shot, tilt shift, and night, HHT, as well as the camera settings. Unfortunately, the manual mode lets you tweak only ISO 100, 3200, and white balance, but not shutter speed or focus. You can capture only portrait panoramic photos within 180-degree field of view. Shooting is easy and the resolution about 18MP, up to 000px tall. The image quality is great, there is plenty of fine detail, accurate colors, and no signs of bad stitching. The dynamic range is great, as is the contrast. The pano shots are somewhat softer than the regular shots, and the foliage isn't as great, but those are still some fine shots. Video mode gives you a choice of 2160p at 30fps and 1080p at 30fps for common shooting, with a 720p at 120fps option if you want some slow motion effects. There's no 1080p at 60fps mode, though, which would make a big difference in fast-paced scenes. The 2160p videos are captured at a bitrate of 41.6 Mbps and have rock-solid 30 fps. The audio is stereo, captured at 96 kbps bitrate. The widescreen might be the only upgrade over the Redmi Note 4, but it's the usual all-round package and the price is tough to beat, again. With the same Snapdragon 625 under the hood, the Redmi 5 Plus is not the most powerful mid-ranger out there, but quite capable still of a pretty good bang for the buck. Some of the more recent potential rivals that come to mind are the Vivo V7 Plus and the Oppo F5. The former has a lower screen resolution with a far superior selfie experience. There is face unlock too, but the asking price is higher than Xiaomi's. The Oppo F5 is probably the perfect match for the Redmi 5 Plus, though, again, a bit more expensive. You get a similar screen, a slightly more powerful processor and a much better selfie experience. The F5 also has face unlock. The LG Q6 is close behind in pretty much every aspect but availability. Still, if tall screen is a must, and the Chinese offers are not an option where you are, LG is the way to go. Finally, the Redmi 5 Plus costs about as much as a Mi 5X or Mi A1 on some markets. The Mi 5X/A1 Duo hasn't got the widescreen but makes up for that with a great dual camera at the back. Plus, if MIUI is not your cup of tea, the Mi A1 runs vanilla Android Oreo.